Hi, welcome back to yet another episode on current affairs. Today, in this session, we'll be covering the most important events of the second week of May 2022. To begin with, in a landmark historical judgment, the Supreme Court put the sedition law on hold. The bench, comprising and led by Chief Justice N.V. Ramanna, put the Indian Penal Code Section 124A on hold on 10th of May till the Centre reviews the 152-year-old sedition law. The bench also asked the Centre and the states to desist from registering any FIR under Section 124A. Those who have already been jailed or are being prosecuted may approach the trial courts for speedier trial of their cases. Arguing on behalf of the government, Solicitor General Tushar Mehta said that the current three-judge bench should not stay the law, whose validity was already upheld by a five-judge bench in the 1962 landmark Kedarnath judgment. On the petitioner's side, counsel was Kapil Sibal, and he cited that the case of now repealed Section 66A of the Information Technology Act to draw a parallel with Section 124A's unconstitutionality. The court said that the Centre is also at the liberty to issue additional guidelines to states and union territories on checking the misuse of Section 124A. The sedition law, or IPC 124A, was introduced in 1870, and the law criminalizes spreading disaffection against the government through words or action and makes it punishable with 3-year jail period. Over the last few years, a bunch of petitions have been filed in the Supreme Court contending that Section 124A violated the fundamental right to freedom of speech and expression. In yet another development, the Delhi High Court on the same day, which is 10th of May, delivered a split verdict on the criminalization of marital rape, observing that the case involved substantial questions of law, and it deferred the case to the Supreme Court, which will now decide on marital rape. The issue on the validity of Exception 2 to Section 375, which deals with rape, said exception stating that sexual intercourse or sexual acts by a man with his own wife, the wife not being under 15 years of age, is not rape, was being heard by a division bench of the High Court of Delhi comprising Justices Rajiv Shakdar and C. Hari Shankar. While Justice Shakdar ruled that the implies provision insofar as they concern a husband having intercourse with his wife without consent are violative of Article 14 and are therefore struck down, Justice Shankar deferred, saying that Exception 2 to Section 375 of the Indian Penal Code was not unconstitutional. According to Justice Shankar, there is no support to show that impunged exception violates Articles 14, 19, or 21, or that there are any intelligible differentia, adding that he was of the view that the challenge cannot sustain. Article 14, 19, and 21 of the Constitution deal with the right to equality, right to freedom, and right to life and liberty, respectively. The impasse in our neighboring Sri Lanka continues. Sri Lanka continues to be in the throes of political impasse, with the main opposition party now joining the anti-government protesters on 12th of May in rejecting the appointment of a new prime minister. The president appointed five-time Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe to his sixth term on 11th of May, but this is unlikely to resolve the present crisis in the island nation. The nation has already seen a week of violent clashes that has left 9 people dead and more than 300 injured. Earlier, President's elder brother, Mahindra Rajapaksa, quit as the Prime Minister on 9th of May as violence spiraled and is hiding in a military base. India is battling China for influence in the strategically located Indian Ocean island, Sri Lanka, where both countries have financed major infrastructure projects. Countering the rumors about sending troops, the Indian High Commission in Colombo on 10th of May dismissed any speculative media report about New Delhi sending troops to Sri Lanka, maintaining the fact that India is fully supportive of the island nation's democracy, stability, and economic recovery. On the economic side, merchandise exports touch a new high. With the inflation touching a 8-year high, fuel import cost worrying the government, and the flight of foreign capital troubling the markets, Indian exports have given some breather to the country's economy. In the month of April, the merchandise exports touched a new high with a surge of 30.7% to $40.19 billion. India's overall exports was estimated at about $68 billion with a jump of about 39% over the same period last year. The export push in merchandise was due to healthy performance by petroleum products, electronic goods, chemicals, processed food, coffee, and leather products. In the services sector front, which is India's strength, the growth in exports was 53% for the month of April. Petroleum and crude oil imports during the month rose by 87.54% to $20.2 billion. Coal, coke, and briquettes imports jumped to $4.93 billion as against $2 billion in the same period in April 2021. Engineering goods exports increased by 15.38% to $9.2 billion, while petroleum products exports soared 113.21% to $7.73 billion. The imports of gold dipped by around 72% to $1.72 billion in the month of April from $6.23 billion in April 2021. Allahabad High Court refused to open the rooms in Taj Mahal, dismissing the plea by a BJP leader who was seeking opening of the 22 rooms of the Taj Mahal to ascertain if the mausoleum was built over a Shiva temple. The Allahabad High Court warned the petitioner not to make a mockery of the PIL, public interest litigation system, observing the fact that if the petition was entertained tomorrow, the petitioner might come back and ask the judges to go to the chambers of honorable judges of the court. The petition contended that the rooms in the Taj Mahal needed to be opened, for which the High Court was required to give directions to the Archaeological Survey of India in order to research and verify the claims that a Shiva temple by the name of Tejo Mahalya existed at the site on which the Taj Mahal has been built. Adding that such debates are meant for drawing room and not for the court of law, the Allahabad High Court said that it wasn't for the courts to decide if the structure was made by Shah Jahan, as it was a completely a non-justiciable issue, and as such, it should be left with the historians. On the other hand, the Varanasi court has ordered the district administration to finish video inspection of the Gyan Vapi mosque, which is adjacent to the Kashi Vishwanath temple on the premises that also houses Shringar Gauri temple by 17th of May. The court ruled that the survey process can be filmed at places inside the mosque, including the basement, as sought by the petitioners of the Shringar Gauri case. Ajay Mishra will continue as the Advocate Commissioner, And additionally, there will be special advocate commissioner and assistant advocate commissioner. Five female petitioners moved to the court in April 2021 seeking permission for daily worship and performing rituals at Shringar Gauri, Lord Ganesh, Lord Hanuman, and Nandi, and stopping the opponents from damaging the statues in the Hindu shrine behind the western wall of the Gyanvapi Mosque. As of now, this site opens once a year for worship and performing rituals. The week ended on a happy note with Indian men's badminton team reaching for the first time the Thomas Cup finals. The Indian men's badminton team beat 14-time champions and the current cup holders Indonesia in the final on 15th of May to win the maiden gold medal at Thomas Cup. First time finalist, India produced a stunning performance in the final to blank Indonesia 3-0 and script history. It all started with 20-year-old Lakshya Sen beating Tokyo Olympics bronze medalist Anthony Ginting. After that, double stars Satwik Sairaj, Ranki Reddy, and Chirag Sethi gave India a 2-0 lead by beating Muhammad Hassan and Kevin Sanjaya 18-21, 23-21, 21-19. And finally, Kadambi Srikanth sealed India's historic win by outclassing Jonathan Christie. That were the most important events for the second week of May 2022. Stay tuned, do subscribe to the channel and follow our social media handles to receive quick and regular updates.